Yesterday, I told you that coinciding with Sarah Palin's endorsement of Republican presidential candidate Donald Trump, we received news that her son, Track Palin, had been arrested for alleged domestic violence against his girlfriend. And normally, right-wingers like to blame parents when stuff like this happens. But instead, who is to blame for this particular arrest, according to Sarah Palin? None other than President Barack Obama. A 26-year-old Track Palin served in Iraq in the U.S. military. And Sarah Palin said the problem here is her son suffered from post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD, and that President Obama made the situation worse by, according to her, disrespecting veterans. Let's hear her explanation. This is from yet another Trump rally that she participated in.
I talk about a commander-in-chief who will never leave our men and our women behind. Let me get a little bit personal on this.
Yeah.
I'm talking about not leaving our wounded warriors behind also. Our wounded warriors who come home from the battlefield bringing new battles with them. Our wounded warriors, sometimes in body and in mind, coming back different than when they left for the war zone. I can talk personally about this. I guess it's kind of the elephant in the room because my own family going through what we're going through today with my son, a combat vet, having served in a Stryker brigade, fighting for you all, America, in the war zone.
Right.
But my son, like so many others, they come back a bit different. They come back hardened. They come back wondering if there is that respect for what it is that their fellow soldiers and airmen and every other member of the military so sacrificially have given to this country. And that starts from the top. It's a shame that our military personnel even have to wonder if they have to question if they're respected anymore.
All right, so let's stop it there. So anyway, Trump would be a different type of commander-in-chief if the point she's making, as opposed to President Obama, where our troops are wondering if they're respected. First of all, Track Palin did serve a tour of duty in Iraq. He was in the Army from 2008 to 2010. He was honorably discharged. I found no evidence that he saw combat during that time. So saying he served in a Stryker brigade, I don't know what she was implying by that. Not the evidence that I found in terms of whether he saw combat. Now, you can still be suffering from PTSD. Thing is, the Republicans are the party that keeps cutting funding for veterans, and those are handouts, Lewis. Those are handouts, and we got to save. So I think that this is just an absurd misdirection from Sarah Palin, supposedly a member of the party of personal responsibility, blaming President Obama here when it is actually the Republican Party that is to blame, not for a lack of respect of the troops necessarily, although you could argue not funding troop care for troops who come home is not particularly respectful to members of the military.
It's strange, isn't it? Because they'll fund any weapon that the soldiers might need.
Oh, yeah.
Any jet, any tank, any rifle. All the money they can throw at that is fine. How is it any different to not give them the benefits they need
we just
when
can't
they
afford
come
it.
back?
All of a sudden, we can't afford it, Lewis. Is this the craziest thing that President Obama has been blamed for? He was blamed for his response to Hurricane Katrina. I'll remind you, he wasn't president during Hurricane Katrina. He was blamed for high gas prices during his presidency, but not given any credit for low oil prices during his presidency. He was even at one point blamed for the Malaysian Airlines flight MH17 crash. Blaming him for Sarah Palin's son being arrested for domestic violence may be the craziest.
He was also, the recession was blamed on him as well.
Oh, right. Yeah, of course. The recession that he oversaw the end of and not the majority of. Yeah, Sarah Palin's living in a fantasy world, personal responsibility, some connection to reality. Please.